It's just that when a 25-year-old starts showing interest in a 15-year-old, your neighbors tend to have problems with you living around them. Blah 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 blah. Let's go.
So, is it as funny as you remember? You're telling preteens that they're going to hell? That just ain't right. So, you didn't do that? Look, me being here must have changed the timeline, but at any rate, you need to apologize. Neither I or Future Storm have the authority to tell you whether or not you're going to hell. He looks pregnant. When I first saw the FMV for this game come out of Ubisoft Montreal, I thought to myself, now these guys are thinking. You keep the concept of Prince of Persia, but you change the title and characters, and nobody can accuse you of beating a franchise to death. But something tells me that they didn't quite keep the concept.
You play as Altair, an assassin during the Crusades. Actually, you play as Desmond Miles, who plays as Altair, an assassin during the Crusades. Scientists are using Desmond to access the memories of one of his ancestors. You know, that's actually pretty creative. I thought this was the future, however, after some investigating, I found out it takes place a few months before the release date. But whatever, all this timing is irrelevant because this is a GISHAOTYA. I'm just thankful it doesn't take place during World War II. So you, as Desmond, as Altair, belong to a secret organization. You know, the Assassins. And you're fighting the Templars of the Crusades because they're after some magical treasure, I guess. In all forms of media, at some point I stop paying attention to the plot and start waiting for the explosions to happen. Altair, played by Desmond, played by you, has been tasked with assassinating 9 guys just because he's told to. There is a tutorial and some drama that takes place beforehand, and I think it's a bunch of blah blah blah, so 9 assassinations, that's what you're doing. There's one aspect of the controls that seemed to set off a bad omen for me. Check this out. You push X to walk really slow. You push R1 to run. You push both to run really fast. How could this logically be possible? They're opposites. This isn't even a case of multiplying a double negative. Addition doesn't work. Maybe a Riemann sum, but with mathematics aside, the same button combination initiates a climb. I pretty much knew this wasn't going to turn out very good for me. Altair, Desmond, and I stroll into the first town, and I immediately forgot all the tutorial stuff. I had no idea what I should be doing. After a while, no explosions had occurred, so I figured I gotta do something. Turns out you gotta find your first viewpoint, run up it, and look around. This helps you find the other viewpoints and the miniature missions. The miniature missions help you investigate who you need to kill and where you can find them. That's right, I said investigate. Dun 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 dun, Inspector Altair. Dun 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 dun. Woohoo! The miniature missions are eavesdropping, pickpocketing, and interrogation. The last one means you wait for a guy to stop talking, follow him to a conveniently secluded alley, and then beat the teeth out of his skull. And that's it. Doesn't matter what they say, doesn't matter what you're picking up, it's all the same crap over and over. If you're lucky, you'll come across an informant who will tell you to go kill a guard, which is pretty easy. Sometimes. It's actually possible to botch the mission after you killed the guard because you're walking back to the informant, but not praying and the other guards got suspicious. So you restart the mission, go after the guard again, but he's gonna come across his own dead body and get even more suspicious! And then there's all the citizens that you have to save. Before you can enter a city, you gotta do one of these missions. Second time around, I wanted to skip it, so I just tried to ram through with my horse. Sad to say, it didn't work. The gist is, 3 or more people are terrorizing somebody innocent, and you gotta be a vigilante and save them. Before this, the game was passable. Now, my ass is getting chapped. When you start killing these guys, guards will notice and they'll join in, so you have to kill upwards of 10 more people. It gets pretty ridiculous. After doing this a couple of times, you think to yourself, stealth kills would be nice. That doesn't work either, because when you jam a knife through a guy's head, his friends are still gonna notice. Throwing knives are pointless because his friends will still notice and you'll never have enough knives. The only effective way to fight is with counterattacks, so you're gonna have to stand around a whole lot. Of course, you don't have the counterattack until you get to the second city. First time around, you're pretty much up creek. This is so boring. I really wish I had the Chains of Olympus right now. And I know what the fans are gonna say. This is set in the Crusades. You can't very well expect them to be fighting with chainsaws. Okay, but that doesn't help the fact that I'm still bored. Then you finally get to the assassination. You get to see a little bit of action and then hope for an explanation as to why you just did that. Of course, I'm a little bit suspicious as to how I can be a master assassin if some retard can throw me into my target, making him aware of my presence, or how a starving woman can get my way, allowing my target to escape. Then you've got to run away. In this situation, I always want to run at top speed. However, I don't always want to run onto a building. These controls made me so frustrated, I couldn't help it, I just started yelling at the game, and now my neighbors probably think that I have a wife named Altair. Got that? Okay, do that 8 more times, and that's Assassin's Creed. Dear God, what a waste of time. Anything good? Well, city design is actually really well done, the story is interesting and original, and most notable is I had gastroenteritis when I was playing this game, which is just a really long term for...
Ah!
So whenever I stabbed a guy in the stomach, I would cringe, but I also thought that's probably a little less painful than what I'm going through right now.
Since I, Future Storm, have already played and adventured on these games a while ago, I'm going to be in the kitchen giving you a taste of Italiano, or however you say it.
Based on the agony that the first Assassin's Creed put me through, I wasn't really looking forward to the second one. And of course it didn't help that the intro animation was already bringing back some painful memories. But once I got into the game, the mood shifted. This time around, you play as Desmond, who is no longer corporate sponsored, who plays as Ezio, a resident of Italy during the Renaissance. And in my opinion, Italians are really likable. Your first activity is fighting for your family honor, and then after you win, you have a fun little race up a clock tower with your brother. And then you go spend a night with one of your lady friends. Under normal circumstances at this point, I would have been groaning and mumbling something about the love story throwing a wrench to the plot progression. Instead, I realized I was really enjoying this. The reason being, people were actually smiling in this game. In the first Assassin's Creed, everyone just had sand up their ass. In Italy, it's a non-stop party. Of course, I should have known that something was up when I started doing heartwarming activities for my little sister and fish-eyed little brother, and when Leonardo da Vinci wanted to hang out with me and my mom.
Vaginas.
And sure as my love for Princess Peach, they were just building us up to tear us down. Alright, child killing, It is through these activities that you get to don your father's assassin costume and escort your mother and sister out of the city. Along the way you are ambushed by some familiar dick faces, but you're saved by Uncle what's his name?
It's a me, Mario!
Oof, you are so getting sued over that one. Mario teaches you how to fight back with some assassination techniques, and then you go on a battle with him, and if it seems like I'm talking you through a play-by-play of the entire game, it's because I spent a lot of time waiting for the game to settle into a pattern. The first one settled quite fast. You denied the existence of God and then started stabbing anybody wearing a cross. Only now do I realize that it was a free-roaming sandbox game, with a heavy emphasis on the sand. With number 2, you have a variety of sandbox missions without all this stupid investigating. You just go kill the son of a bitch. You might be in love with all this blood and violence, you sick fuckcockles. But what really made Assassin's Creed 2 a home run for me was that it was a platforming game where you get to collect a bunch of things. It was a lot of fun to go around to all the towns and get all the viewpoints, buy all the paintings. There are 6 tombs that you get to loot while acting like you're the Prince of Persia. And throughout this entire game, there are 20 buildings with hidden glyphs on them that you have to find. After you find them, you get to do a little puzzle. Now really with these puzzles, they're hit and miss. Some of them you match up similar paintings. Some of them you twist around to make a painting. Some of them are paintings that scared the crap out of me, and some of them are just completely unfair. This twisting dial might not look like much right now, but pretty soon it's gonna get so convoluted and annoying that's gonna make me want to rip my wisdom teeth out. And my wisdom teeth haven't even come in yet! Back to the actual game, navigating the cities is much easier this time around because of all the hookers.
Vaginas.
Yes, if you want to get past some guards, just throw a pair of boobs at them. There's so many hookers in these cities that on the way out you can hire some for the guards and then hire some more for the road. Now even you can get venereal disease! Of course the common annoyances are still there, like running up walls that I don't want to. My neighbors probably think I have a mistress named Ezio. And those guys wielding ukuleles want to stop and sing to you because there's nothing like serenading a dude wearing chainmail. Really, these guys are the sequel to the old ladies who begged Altair for coins. And it gets me to wondering, why are they even put in this game? Something this annoying can in no way be fun, or contribute to gameplay. Lady, shut up! Well, might as well end it here. The first Assassin's Creed is incredibly slow. The second Assassin's Creed incredibly does not blow, meaning it's a good game.
This doesn't taste like cookies. Well, of course it doesn't. That's uncooked pizza dough. Ah!
Vaginas.
Mario!